Hello and welcome to the Astro Garden, a place for astrologers to chat all things astro. I'm your host Janessa of By Jove Astrology. Thanks for tuning in. Hello, it's Friday, Venus Day, November 8th, so we're just past the election on Tuesday. I don't know. I don't know if I have the words. I'm definitely, like most people probably struggling with what that means for our country. I think if you're listening to this, you probably are on the same page and feeling similarly. It's not foreign, we've been here before. We did this in 2016. So yeah, am I disappointed? Yeah. Am I surprised? Kind of. And also not. I think I'm more surprised that surprised and not surprised that we have not moved the needle clearly very much since then. Collectively, at least. So what I want to talk about today is just some tips to help get more of us into a place where we can help everybody. So I've talked a lot about things like expansion and feeling expansive now at this point in my life, and a lot of what has helped me get there is this taking better care of myself. And I know that this is such a cliche, especially after 2016 and especially during 2020 and hereafter, or thereafter with COVID. Self-care as a trending topic. And when I'm talking today, I'm not talking about this commercialized, consumerized, capitalist version of self-care. I guess I'm talking more about what it really means to take care of yourself. And all of this is to say that the end goal, I think if we start with the end goal of being able to help other people, that can help us inform what choices we're making to take care of ourselves. Because if we're just doing these things to I don't know, just help ourselves, I don't know what the fucking point is. So I think that's one of the key takeaways for all of the self-care whatevers is if it's not in service of the greater good, then it's useless. So yeah, let's talk about it. So for me personally, I think I've struggled with this type of thing my whole life. I have a fallen moon, moon being our body and being care. I think it's something that it was not my inherent to me in knowing how to do that, or it was easy for me to forget that. But I've come to learn that a lot of things that I've taken for granted, like eating breakfast, just putting on nice clothes or makeup, some of these things that on the surface seem really shallow, maybe not the food thing, but appearance stuff seeming really shallow, and me kind of being dismissive of it and thinking I don't need that it doesn't matter, which is true. And it also like has deeply helped me to think about that thing and those things in a new way of like, if I look good, I start to feel good too, where it's like this reversal of like inputting something to the exterior to get a response on the interior. And I know that sounds probably cliche and you've probably heard that before. And I'm sorry to report to you that it's fucking real. So whether you like to, whether that for you means like dressing up, or maybe that means for you like sensory friendly clothing, or allowing yourself to experiment with clothing choices that you haven't allowed yourself to experiment with before. And, not necessarily like having to have an occasion to do that. I think that's been really empowering to me. It's like, what would it feel like if I wear something a little bit fancy to like daycare drop off, even if I'm working from home that day? What would it feel like if I stopped trying to wear these jeans that just restrict my body? That has helped a lot. That one's a little more straightforward, maybe. So I think that's like a simple thing. I think, appearance, putting on makeup, even if I'm like literally going nowhere, and not doing it because I'm worried about running into someone I know. There are many days I go all over the place with no makeup, for better or for worse, acne and all. But just putting it on because it's like fun and it feels good, and I like to catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror when I'm going to the bathroom. For myself. And playing with new styles. So that's something I think to play with. I think that's like the fun thing, right? The other stuff isn't as fun. The other stuff is like, you should go to bed a lot fucking earlier than you probably are. This is something that I've had no choice but to do because of, I don't know, just having kids and just being exhausted. But I think that has been like a linchpin in everything of like, if I were not going to bed at 9 o'clock every night, I don't think I would be able to do any of the other stuff, because I need like 8 to 9 hours of sleep every night to feel my best. Like some of these like foundational things set the stage to be able to do the other foundational things. It just kind of is finding like, what is the foundational thing for you? But I would argue that sleep might be one of the most important. The next thing is definitely like nutrition. And with that comes like all of the other stuff that, I am not a food influencer. I'm not like a weight loss influencer. I'm not even talking about weight loss. I'm just talking about like fueling your body to like feel good in it. And for me, that has looked like eating more protein and putting down the potato chips, even though I'm like addicted to them and I fucking love potato chips. And it's not that I don't ever have them. It's just that like I have prioritized other foods that fuel my body and make me feel better, even if they like don't taste as good. But if I prioritize those things and I eat them first, then I don't feel as like apt to grab the bag of chips for that salty carbohydrate crash. So yeah, again, I'm not a medical professional. This is not medical advice, but like, you're an adult now and you probably should eat a fucking vegetable. So like, do that. What else? Oh, alcohol. That's kind of a shitty one too. Not very fun, but cutting out like the regular, like weekly or like daily glass of wine, at least for me at the point that I'm in my life right now, has also really helped me. For me, I was getting to a point where it was like, okay, if I have a glass of wine in the evening, I'm going to wake up like a lot foggier the next day. Like, I'm not talking about drinking in excess. I'm talking about even just the regular use. And listen to your body, do what's right for you. We're all coping in our own ways, especially now. But I'm telling you, I think it will help you function in a more clear way if you can like cut back on that. I'm not by any means like quote unquote sober or alcohol free. I like a glass of wine at a party just as much as the next person, and I still do partake in that. I'm just saying, if it's something like, maybe just try it. Just try like not having that like Tuesday night glass of wine and see if you feel any more clear. And a lot of these changes are not like, they're not the fun ones. Like they're not instant gratification. So it's going to take longer than like a couple days of giving it a try, and maybe even more than like a month. Just be patient with it. It's like a Saturn thing. It doesn't go quickly. It's not a quick fix. It is not fun. So there's that. Another thing that and again, this is not medical advice, but get yourself some fucking magnesium. Like, I am not exaggerating. I'm not a supplement person. I've dabbled and never felt like anything I've taken has really made much of a difference. Maybe that's user error in terms of like, needing to use it for a certain amount of time or for whatever reason. But I got some magnesium glycinate. There's a lot of versions of magnesium. Do your research. Not everything is the right thing for everyone else, but the magnesium glycinate or glycinate, maybe I'm mispronouncing that one is my jam. I take 2 after bed or after dinner, before bed. And I really, honest to God, think that I have that to thank for like a huge part of regulating my nervous system. I've been on this journey for a while. I've been doing a lot of these things. I've been doing like meditating and yoga for at least 2 years now. And I was definitely seeing progress, but there is a marked difference from when I started taking magnesium to now. Like, it's just wild to me. I wouldn't say that it's like, it's not a magic pill. Again, it takes time to like build up in your body, and it's very subtle. This is not like taking a Valium for your anxiety. This is like a slow build where like all of a sudden one day I woke up and felt like, oh, like I don't have that like underlying core of anxiousness, like just for whatever reason that's like always hanging out there, reminding me of like something that I should be worried about. Like that, I still worry, but like that underlying, how can I even describe it? It's just like this baseline anxiety is like gone and like not present now. And I honestly think that is like, I think I've been taking it since May, and this has been like a very transformative time for me. So there's all kinds of stuff aligning at the same time, but like that has really, I think just getting rid of that noise has opened it up for me to be able to do all of this like extra stuff, to be here talking about it versus just like the rushing around and like just getting through trying to do stuff and being worried about it the whole fucking time. So again, not medical advice. If you're having anxiety, I highly recommend finding yourself a therapist, finding a way to work through that with a professional. But if it's something that isn't, if there's something that you want to try on your own, Magnesium, I think, will help. And all of these things are helping, right? Like if you're getting better sleep, if you're getting better food, if you're cutting out or cutting down on your alcohol, like these are all going to help massively. But yeah, those are like the main things that I really think have helped me. Astrologically, I've been working with the moon a lot, and that has also really helped me. I think the moon is like something you can co-regulate with. That's something that my teacher Britton LaRue has taught me. It's something that aids like reflection, and like, you know, it moves through the houses every 2 to 3 days. It can help us focus on like, okay, like what is the focus of these 2 to 3 days? What house is it transiting through? Is it in my relationship house, my seventh house? Is it in my fourth house? Do I need to focus on like taking care of my home right now? So I think developing that relationship, and along with that, like developing that relationship with yourself and like your intuition, it's like takes away a lot of the guesswork. I'm not saying that you should listen to every feeling that you have. I'm talking about intuition, and like discerning your feelings from intuition is a skill, right? Or you're discerning your anxiety from intuition is a skill. So don't misunderstand me. But once you're getting that anxiety kind of like tamed, if you're an anxious person, being able to tap into your intuition can just like also help you in decision making. It can help you in a lot of different ways. And I think the moon is like how we nurture, right? It's like all of these like self-care things. The last couple of days, I've just been really trying to focus on how I can nurture myself and my family and my friends and like my community and larger, right? All the way out to like whoever's listening to this. So tapping into the moon and getting aligned with her, I think is really helpful. I hope that this is coming across as helpful and not pontificating. These are things that have helped me, and I really want to, I mean, that's like what I'm doing here. Like, that's the whole reason I'm an astrologer, is like helping others, like trying to shine my light so that other people can maybe like feel enabled or empowered to shine theirs. Nothing that I'm doing is like inherent to only me. These are all things everyone can be doing. And it's improved my capacity to be able to hold space for other people, to be able to like think, you know, capitalism like thrives on us not having any fucking time or any fucking space to think. Whether it's keeping us at work for, 40 hours a week is too much. And most of us are working more than that just to pay the bills. So that's one way of doing it. The other way, the way that I think if we do ever get like a shorter work week, we're still giving up so much of our time to these companies via social media, via advertising online. Anytime we're looking at a screen, like reevaluating how much time you're spending, how much attention you're giving to these companies, I think is really going to be key. That's something I struggle with. To be completely honest, like I am working on cutting back my phone usage, my screen time. And like, I think for me, the thing that's kind of pushing me over the edge with that is like really honestly thinking about it as an energy exchange. It's a leak. Like we're leaking energy every time we're just fucking staring at Instagram. Like it's going to somewhere else. Like that's our energy and our time. Like we could be using that to love each other. We could be using that to like help someone. We could be using that to like come up with ideas about how we can live, how things could be, instead of like doom scrolling about like how horrible they are right now and how much horrible they could be. Like, we have to start taking back our time. I think it has started, like, you know, with working from home in 2020, there was a what's the word I'm looking for? We had some momentum there. I think we still have it. I think we've forgotten a little bit, but we have to take back our power. Part of that is taking back our time, whether that's, you know, figuring out like ways to do that during the day, whether that's you know, taking it back from like your screen time. All of these choices we can make, and they all are small choices that add up to bigger choices. And we can't make them very well. We can't make these decisions when we're overtired. We can't make these decisions very well when we're like malnourished. It's hard to make good choices when we're drinking alcohol or, you know, hungover the next day, even if it's just from a small amount. If we're foggy, it's hard to see. So I feel myself being done. Those are my tips. I think, again, all of this, we need to do these things not to like look good. I'm not saying go get your nails done so that you can like, I don't know, be the hottest bitch on Instagram. I mean, maybe that's what's going to make you feel better and help you help someone else. Like, there's no judgment there. Like, it's going to be different for every single person. But the self-care and the self-help that I'm like really interested in is whatever is going to help us help each other, because we need each other really bad. Like, really bad, you guys. So yeah, I'm going to leave you with that. I also want to tease a little bit this project I'm working on. I'm still in like the investigation stage, but it's forming. And I think what this is going to look like is like diving into the essence of each sign, starting with Sagittarius. And I think I want to start it next week. So that'll be a special episode. This might be something where like this is an experiment. My thought is that this first one is going to be available to everybody. And then the others might be behind some type of paywall, whether that's on my Substack or, or available for purchase on my website. But these might be longer form. And yeah, I'm just going to be taking a deep dive into each sign, and it's not going to be in the way that you've seen it done before. So stay tuned for that. I don't want to give too much away. But yeah, that'll be next week. We're going to be heading into Sagittarius season in about 2 weeks. So, might be next week, might be the week after, but it'll be right around when we turn to Sag season. All right. Well, I am sending so much love and so many well wishes to everybody. I just want everybody to feel like, I want everybody to realize you have a lot more power than you think. We are the ones in charge here. We need to start acting like it. And I'm saying that with so much love. Until next time, I'll see you later. For more information about my work, you can find me at By Jove Astro on Instagram, at By Jove Astrology on Twitter, and the best place to find me of all is at my website, byjoveastrology.com.